Welcome to Rockstars, the podcast where high performance meets real life.
I'm Brent Laing, joined by my wife, Jennifer Jones, and this is where we talk about rocks, rings, and everything in between.
It's about chasing dreams and asking, why not me?
And figuring out how to keep going when things get hard or hilarious.
Sometimes it's just us talking curling, business, family, and parenting.
Sometimes it's bigger conversations about success, pressure, and believing that anything is possible.
We keep it honest, uplifting, and fun.
We might even make you laugh.
Because this is about the wins, the losses, and real life in between. Rocks, rings, real life.
This is Rockstars. Welcome back to Rockstars, Rocks, Rings, and Real Life, the podcast where a couple of dream chasers, that's us, open up about chasing big goals, living in the moment, navigating life's highs and lows, which there are many, and figuring out what comes next on and off the ice. I'm world curling champion Olympian Brent Laing, and as always, I'm joined by my amazing wife and Olympic gold medalist, the one and only Jennifer Jones. Jen, what are we diving into today?
Well, I think there's been some news around the Olympics maybe coming up. I hear there's this Olympic thing going on. So with the Milano Cortina Olympic Winter Games coming up, it is true. And with curling, the sport that we love, being covered for 19 days in a row. Yes, I did say 19. It's basically every day, all day throughout the entire games. Curling gets the most broadcast time of any sport at the Olympics. We thought we should do an Olympic curling preview show and maybe even give you our playoff, and medal picks. You're looking a little different. What's going on?
Oh, you mean my hair?
Yeah, it's
pretty awesome, isn't it? It's really
It's one way to say it, yes.
It's our new sponsor. No, I just took some Rogaine. No, it's not our new sponsor, but you going to be able to concentrate with me looking this good?
I think I can handle it, yeah.
Okay, we'll see. These are Langer's locks, baby. Flashback to my hairstyle and my look back in the 90s, in the World Junior days. This is what I looked like. This is how good I looked. And also something I started this year, Langer's locks on the Grand Slam of curling. Every day I would pick one men's game and one ladies game lock. Ladies first, as always. And I wasn't always right, but I always had a good time. I was always pretty honest and had some fun with it. The players, a few of them asked me not to pick them, but that's beside the point. So
that's because you didn't pick right and they didn't.
Well, sometimes they felt like I was jinxing them, but I don't have that kind of power. Let's be real. But if you're just listening and you're not watching on YouTube, you may want to just check this one out on YouTube, even for a second, or on socials. I'm sure we'll send it out. But yeah, that's what we're doing here. We're doing a preview. We're going to make some picks. So I need to get into costume and I need to get the ROI, the return on investment on my hat and my wig here. It was like $38, man. So let's roll.
I love it. But before we jump in, let's give a quick shout out to our listeners. Thank you so much. If you are loving the show, please hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. And also follow us on our socials at Lang99 on X and at JJonesCurl on Insta. It truly does mean the world to us. We are working on some Rockstar specific socials, but for now, those are your best bets. And seriously, we do want to hear from you, good or bad. We really want to make sure that the content is what you want. And if you have any questions, we'll try to answer them.
Okay, let's dive in. First curling event of many, of three, I guess, at the Olympics in Cortina is mixed doubles. Starts on February 4th, even before the opening ceremonies. And what a field we have. I mean, scary good, like almost anybody could win the gold medal good. Jen, we tried to qualify for this. We came within a couple of games. We didn't make it. Am I wrong to feel a little bit relieved that we don't have to go through this gauntlet?
No, I think that's probably a normal feeling when you look at that field. Like, it is scary good. You feel like any game you're going to go out there and you're going to have to play your best and get some good fortune in order to win that game. This is probably the best field I've ever seen assembled at mixed doubles.
Question.
And I know we really wanted to be in these Olympic games and play, but you've got definitely a tough road ahead at these games to be on that podium.
Don't look ahead. That's my advice to the teams. I would focus, be where your feet are and play the team in front of you. I know they look tough to beat, but don't look for the easy game because if you can't find it, it's you.
Okay. Well, let's get to the teams. We're just going to list all the teams that are playing, just to give you an idea of what countries are represented, what teams are there, and then we're going to try to break it down a little bit more for you. So first,
I had to put in my passcode. It didn't recognize me.
Because you're looking so much better.
Probably because I look so much younger.
Okay. That's it, for sure. Yeah. So from Canada, we have Jocelyn Peterman and Brett Gallant. Norway, Kristen Skazleen and Magnus Nedergotten.
Nedergotten,
yeah.
Sorry for the name pronunciations. We're doing our best. We do have our notes in front of us. Czech Republic, Julie Zelengrova and Vit Chabakovsky. I think I nailed that.
Yes.
South Korea, this is a tough one for me. Kim Seong-yong and Jeong Yong-seok.
Estonia, we have Mary Kaldiv and Harry Lill. And Sweden is Isabella Rano and Rasmus Rano.
Brother and sister combo, very familiar names. Speaking of familiar names, Great Britain, Jennifer Dodds and Bruce Mowat. Switzerland, Breyer. That's got to be, I've never asked, but I think she's got to be named after the Breyer, right?
I'm not sure.
Curling family, Breyer Hurleman, now Breyer Schwaller Hurleman. And her husband, Yannick Schwaller. Skip and throws third stones on probably the hottest men's team in the world right now. And they're playing good too, right, Jen? See what I did there?
They are playing very well. So Italy, we have Stefania Constantini and Amos Mozaner.
Very nice.
For United States, we have Corey TC and Corey Dropkin.
Two of the favorites, not to give away, but Italy, reigning Olympic gold medalists, OGMs. Pretty good team. So that's the field. World rankings heading in. We got to touch on them. We got to do our job, but caveat.
They don't mean anything.
They're not going to mean anything. And I think they're a little bit skewed for a number of reasons, which we'll touch on. But first off, Australia, number 1 ranked team in the world, Dean and Talia. And unfortunately for them, they didn't come through the OQE, the Olympic qualification event. You know, they made it to the last Olympics, didn't make it to this one. Very upsetting for them. Feel bad for them. I'm sure they've booked a trip. They're heading somewhere with no internet, no phones, no nothing. February 4th to 10th. That's
I highly recommend don't watch. They've had a fabulous year, been winning everything, playing super consistent. Because of how the qualifications work for these Olympic Games, for any Olympic Games, unfortunately, they did have to go through the OQE, even though they were ranked so high. And they lost.
So it's on World Championships, right? It's not world ranking. It's just the last 2 World Championships, and they had a bad one.
Yeah, and then they just kind of found themselves in a bad spot. Lost 2 games to qualify for these Olympics, and unfortunately, they find themselves out looking in. And just such a great team, great people. Our heart breaks for them. So they are not here. So good news for the rest of the field in that this is the world ranked number 1 team. We also have
Team Japan, Kwana and Aoki, number 4 in the world, but number 1 in our hearts because they own us. We only played them twice, but I feel like they beat us 12 times. That's how bad it felt, and we played pretty good.
They didn't miss a half shot. They curled.
They're good.
They curled as well as I've ever seen anybody curl, ever. And then in mixed doubles, even more impressive. Just so talented, and Japan failed to qualify. Again, the way the rankings worked, Japan didn't send one of their 2 top teams to...
2 of their teams are top 5 in the world, probably.
But they didn't get to go to the World Championships, and they failed to get enough points at the World Championships to qualify, had to go through those OQEs, lost to the wrong team. They lost actually to Czechia, did not get to advance in the playoff round.
We're going to have to look into their association and see who and why they sent that team to the Worlds. But anyway, Norway's the highest ranked team in the field. Also probably the most experienced mixed doubles team. They're number 2 in the world. That's hard to argue. Korea's number 3. It's not as hard to argue that that's wrong. But we'll move on. USA number 5, the Coreys. Czechia number 8, another one. So Korea and Czechia, I would suggest their world ranking is a little bit quite a bit inflated because of the OQE event. There was massive points there. There's still something I think that's called the importance factor that doesn't drive Jen crazy at all.
I don't understand it. That's another podcast. The rankings and the point system that we allocate to our teams, men's, women's, mixed doubles, it's wrong. It needs to be fixed and reevaluated.
It's complicated too, though. That's the caveat. I was involved a couple of probably 8 years ago now, and it's a lot goes into it. But
right now, degree, but
that's why it was complicated to me. But Czechia is 8, as I said. Estonia, number 10, another mixed doubles specialist team. Marie and Harry. Great Britain, Bruce and Jen Dodds. The next ones you're going to wonder, why are they ranked so low? Great Britain, 12. They don't play much mixed doubles. They play a few. Canada, Brent and Joss, number 18. Tell me about that.
Well, they've elected. They were very focused on their men's and women's team. Brett Gallant is actually also going with Brad Jacobs for Team Canada. So they didn't play very much. I believe they've only played 2 events this year. So they don't have...
They won and lost the final in the other.
Right, but the points in those events weren't as high as some of the other events because of the teams that went to those events, and so they don't play enough events. They're not maxing out on the how many events they can count towards their world ranking, and you see them all the way down to 18th, and that's why we're saying
all the way down. No. That's a great ranking. They hear footsteps too, because number 19 in the world, that's us.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know how, but it is.
Okay.
But 18, Switzerland, number 31.
Again, they just don't play. They don't play very much. They have played some, but very similar to Brent and Jocelyn. Just don't focus on mixed doubles in terms of volume of events. They're playing other disciplines, and that just divides their time.
Right. Sweden, 52. Ranos, they must not be very good. No, they don't play hardly at all. When they do play, that's kind of the Swedish model. You know, Oscar plays every couple of years just when he decides he wants to win a mixed doubles world championship, and Anna. And then, Isabella and Rasmus, I don't know the exact year, but it's recent past. Maybe even last year, they won the world mixed doubles. So 52nd in the world for your trouble. Thanks for being number 1 in the world when it counted, but you're 52nd. So good luck. And this is the best one. There was like 353 ranked mixed doubles teams. Team Italy, not on the list. So they must not have registered, but they also don't play.
No, they don't play very much as well. But when they do play this team, I don't even know if they've lost a game.
That's the rumor. That seems like, lore.
Very
rumor,
consistent.
But
very consistent.
So let's break them down. Here's how I'm going to run it, I hope. I haven't told you my picks.
Well, before you start, you do know I'm really sensitive to hurting people's feelings.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to say it first.
Okay.
And you can say that was...
I don't like giving picks. I think everybody is super talented. It depends on...
Everybody gets a gold medal.
Well, no, that's not the way it works. Everybody does not get a participation medal at these Olympics. You do have to finish first, second, or third. You get a little pin, actually, for being there. It's kind of nice.
Asshole. Why are you rubbing that in? I got that pin.
But I'm not great at making predictions or picks because, again, it really does depend on the event. I think it's very important for teams to start well, especially the teams that are on that bubble. If you have a good start, beat some teams out of the gate early that you may be tied with. So we'll come into playoff ramifications in terms of ranking. You may have a shot, but it's very important for some of these middle bubble teams to have a very good start, win their first couple of games, and just kind of not be grinding it out from the very beginning.
Very, very true. I'm going to give you my opinion because that's otherwise, what am I here for?
Well,
other than looking this good.
You do give me your opinion pretty much on everything.
Yeah, and then you give me my opinion back with a couple of improvements. And that's what we do. But I'm going to call the first group. I'm going to break them into 3 groups. A group of 2, a group of 4, and a group of 4. There's 10 teams. The first one, you're going to love this. Congratulations, you're an Olympian group, but you're not getting a medal.
They'll get a pin?
They'll get a pin, as he said. And I got Czechia in there. I don't know. If I was them, my advice, and I already gave this to Coach Saville on the men's side, we will do the men's and ladies in separate episodes. But I've heard great things about Czech House, which is where all the athletes and fans hang out.
Canada House?
Yeah, I would put on your Olympic running shoes, tie them up tight, and the second those gates open, I'd run and get a good seat. That's what I would do. I put my jacket there, and I would soak up the entire experience. I'd go to as many events as I can. I'd learn as much as I can and see what the best teams in the world do, but I just don't think they're one of them yet. They are one of the best teams in the world. I shouldn't say that. They're not one of the elite teams in this field of 10. I think their ranking is inflated, and I think they're going to watch the playoffs like you and I. Well, though, they might actually be behind the ropes.
I can't really disagree with you on that one. The one caveat I would say is that they did qualify through the OQEs.
True.
And
battle tested. Beat some good teams. Beat Japan, the team we can't beat.
We have not seen them play live. So this is one team that's a little bit unknown and foreign to us. We have played a lot of mixed doubles recently. And so we feel like we know these teams quite well. But this is one team we do not know. So they could surprise us.
Yeah.
But right now it's hard for me to not have them in that group.
Yeah. Congratulations, you're an Olympian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool. I hope. That's all I got. South Korea. Now this one, they'll be tough, very tough. And so will Czechia. But even with Kim Seon-young, the 2018 Olympic silver medalist on Team Kim, the Garlic Girls, and, very successful, lots of experience. I just don't think it's in the cards for them to make the playoffs in Italy. I don't know a lot about her partner, but Jong Young-seok, he's going to have to play really well. They have played well this year. So again, they're going to be a tough out, a tough win. I just don't see them having enough. I don't see him having enough specifically to keep up with all the men are playing the middle three to start, as far as we know. Rock's 2, 3, 4, and I don't see him being able to keep up in the middle. And there's just no place to hide in mixed doubles. So I think lots of good games. They're going to beat some teams, but I don't see them being in playoffs.
Yeah, I would agree. I think they're going to surprise some teams. Lots of great talent again there, but it will be those middle stones that one slight miscue and you just get yourself into trouble in mixed doubles, and you just can't afford that. And I think, like you said, there's just a little bit of a gap there.
You're speaking from experience. When your middle's not as good as the other teams, you're in trouble. You need a really
The last rock thrower, yeah.
Well, hey. So next group, pretty straightforward. Middle of the pack. We're going to call them the middle of the pack group.
Okay.
But honestly, my notes are telling me, and I wrote them, they could challenge for a medal and even the gold medal group. And I think that's very true of the next 8 teams. And nothing will be for sure. It's the Olympics, it's sport, but I've got Norway as not the number. Like, I didn't rank them within the groups. I just put them in there. Norway, highest ranked team in the event, number 2 in the world. I don't have them in the playoffs. Olympic silver medalists already.
Tons of Olympic experience. They won a silver medal at the first Olympics where
2018.
Yeah, where mixed doubles was included. So they've been around a long time, lots of Olympic experience. It's just that the level of mixed doubles play has improved exponentially. Like, it's just so tough right now, and this field is so deep. Such a good team, played a lot, ranked number 2 in the world. I like their chances if they can upset a couple of teams early to get into that playoff round.
Yeah.
But again, like I said earlier, this is going to be a team that must have a great start.
Yeah, and I love watching this team play too. And I agree, the game is better now than it was in 2018, but they're better now than they were in 2018, and they did medal. But it'll be interesting to see. Kristen can make all the shots. Magnus is he's got a rocket launcher when he needs it, where he can throw it as hard as anybody I've ever seen. He did that against us in an event.
They are spicy too.
And they're spicy and fun to watch. They're honest with each other. They're competitive, and obviously they're very comfortable with each other. I don't know if anybody on this podcast knows what that's like, but
I highly recommend, if you're watching them, make sure you have the volume on and listen to them. They're interesting and entertaining to listen to. They're totally into it, and just fun.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And they could serve me a surprise sandwich. There's no doubt about it. Next group in the middle of the pack, I've got Switzerland. Now, apologies to Yannick, because he's been one of the only guys that when I pick him in Langer's locks in the G-Sox, never let me down.
Oh.
But they are a playoff team in pretty much any event they play, except for this one, I think. That's my theory. Obviously Yannick's a great shooter, knows the game. Breyer has all the shots. She's a world champion in her own right with Team Tiranzoni. I don't know. I just don't know. Their dynamic will probably be great until it isn't. I mean, the pressure of the Olympics is different. Can Breyer hold her own against, the Stefanias and the, Isabella Ranos, the Skips of the world? I don't know.
Yeah, that is a question mark with that team. And they were actually at the World Championship that we were at. Super talented team. They were in the other pool to us, so we didn't get to see them very often. But what happened to them, they started off poorly. They didn't have a very good last stone draw. And that last stone draw, which is the shot you throw before each game starts, and it's a cumulative total, that is used to break tiebreakers. And they didn't have a very good one. They found themselves out of the playoffs. So this team, similar to Norway, must start well, must focus on that LSD to make sure that if they're in contention, they get through. And then the question mark is going to be whether Breyer Hurlman can...
Schwaller.
Yes. Whether Breyer Hurlman Schwaller can keep up to the rest of those last rock throwers in this field.
It's a tough field for sure. This next one's, I'm almost even just reading it, looking at my notes now. I've got them in the wrong group, but it's already written down. So the brother-sister combo, Sweden, I've got them on the outside looking in, and I don't even really know why. They've got experience and then some. They're world champions in mixed doubles. Rasmus is already an Olympic gold medalist. When I say it out loud, it makes me sound
fabulous sweeper as well. Rasmus
great
is one of the best in the game.
Super calm.
Drawer, hitter, really good. But again, this is Isabella's first Olympics, and you can't have a great experience at your first Olympics, but it's just, how are those nerves? How is that pressure going to be dealt with? And in such a deep field, I like where they are. They're going to be on that bubble. And again, if teams in this bubble, they can start well and get that confidence and the momentum, then maybe they can find themselves in that next group.
And if you want to bet against me, that's the team I would pick. Okay. Because I think they're the most likely of the the middle to really make a run. And but you never know. Come the end of the week, the next team is Estonia, another super talented, incredible team. Lots of mixed doubles. Harry and Marie are both great athletes. Harry might be the best athlete in the field. It's just a curling thing, so lots of good athletes, but he makes a ton of shots. I just don't know that in a long week. I think Maria is the second best female shot maker in the event. And I'll tell you who I think the best is later. Obviously, I have her in the playoffs. But I wonder if Harry, over a long week, the pressure of the Olympics, they've been to lots of worlds. I just wonder if he can, keep up with Bruce and Brett and those kinds of guys. Amos. I don't know. We're going to find out. But that's what I see.
Yeah, she's so talented. They both are. Whenever we play them, it's been great games, and we know we have to play our very best in order to have a chance. They're on that bubble as well, and I know they've been working really hard, and it wouldn't surprise me at all to see. I think they're going to go under the radar a little bit, and those under the radar teams often find themselves shining very bright because they just kind of do their thing, and then they find their way into the playoffs because there's just nobody's focusing on them, and they would be that team for me. They're just going to do their thing, and I would not be surprised at all to see them on that podium.
Agreed. And now the playoff picks. There's only 4 teams left. 4 teams make the playoffs, get to play in the semifinal. And like my shirt says, I'm a bit of a homer, so I'm going with Brent and Jocelyn, not just because they're Canadian, but I think they're one of, if not the best team in the world. So they win almost every mixed doubles event they play in. They went into our Olympic trials last December over New Year's, and they were the heavy favorite going in, I think, if people were picking. If they weren't picking them, they were probably not watching. And they performed when they needed to. They just don't make many mistakes. They win almost every game they play in. I think Brett brings a ton to the table, as one of the highest IQ players in the world, curling IQ players in the world. Not off the ice, maybe. I don't know if he's smart off, but he's a smart curler. It's not the same thing always, trust me. And then Jocelyn has become one of the best mixed doubles players in the world. And I think it's fair to say that in ladies, she's elite. She's a great player, but in mixed doubles, she's way better than she is in the ladies. And I don't know if it's Brett and the confidence he brings. I don't know if it's the sweeping. She doesn't have any female teammates that are 6'3", 225 pounds and that sweep like Brett. So that could be part of it. And that sometimes just adds more confidence. So I don't know. I've got them in the playoffs. I wouldn't bet. I don't bet money on anything, but I wouldn't bet a ton on the teams that are not going to make it. But this would be probably a real big surprise to me if they weren't in the playoffs. Thoughts? I nailed it.
I would agree. Yeah, they're just so good and super consistent. Every year for the past decade, they've been consistent in mixed doubles.
Right, they're just always around.
Whenever they play, they don't play often. Whenever they do play, you can see their names in the playoff picture. So interesting to see how they're going to fare at these games with the focus and the pressure of being Team Canada. Mm-hmm. But I would think they're going to definitely be in that playoff mix.
Yeah, and that might be the only question mark, especially for the last rock throwers who maybe aren't always last rock throwers. There's lots of ways to win a game. Sometimes it's an open hit on your last one, but sometimes you have to draw the side of the button, especially in mixed doubles. And if you're not used to that, under that pressure, I don't know. And that's not this team specific, but Canadian fans, we're in good hands, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Great Britain. I just can't bet against Bruce Mouat. Although he let me down maybe 3 times at the last Grand Slam. Brucey, you don't lose that many games in a season, but he's too good at curling overall.
It was the best curling right? ever play.
Not even, yeah, and just unflappable. And then Jen Dodds, she's the best female sweeper in the event. I don't think that's up for debate. It's not, because I said it. It's a Langer's lock. And lots of mixed doubles experience. They've had great runs at the World Mixed Doubles Championships. And yeah, I just see them being in the playoffs. She's an Olympic gold medalist already from Beijing, playing with Eve Muirhead. So they've been there, done that. I just don't see them missing the playoffs. Fair?
Yeah, that is fair. That would be the one team. Bruce is so good. Can't bet against Bruce. Just amazing. And he's a very good sweeper, but he doesn't.
She's going to do it, folks. She's going to bet against him.
Well, no, he doesn't sweep all the time. Jen does a lot more of their sweeping in terms of kind of the between the men and the women in this event. You'll see Jen do some sweeping. And it's not something Bruce does all the time. They are very consistent, but they'll usually just they haven't won a lot of events lately. Like they've been in events or haven't won a lot of events. And so I think the real key for this team is Jen Dodds. Bruce is going to be consistent. It's whether Jen can really set up with that first shot, making it perfect, that freeze, and then having the ability to make that last one when everything is kind of on the table and you got to make it. So that to me is a great pick. super talented team. But I wouldn't be surprised if they actually weren't in the playoffs either. Like they're a team for me that's on that playoff bubble.
Okay, that's fair. Next up, United States, Corey squared, Corey and Corey.
Spelled different though.
Spelled different, but I mean,
Square.
they beat us in the World Mixed Doubles semifinal in 2023. So how damn good are they?
They're very good.
That game was impressive. Corey's built for this. Corey, well, they both are. Corey TC is one of the best shot makers. She doesn't miss. In my experience playing in a mixed doubles, she doesn't miss much. Not afraid of the big moment, but Corey Dropkin is made for mixed doubles in a lot of ways. You know, he's obviously super fit. He's still young, loves to throw the high hard one, got good touch. And I think he loves the pace. I think the regular game maybe is a little slow for Corey at times.
Overthinks things maybe just a little bit. Yeah.
So I've got them in the playoffs. I see them making a run. World Mixed Doubles champions in 2023, not that long ago.
Their LSD is always good too. They're really good at that draw of the button to begin the game, during the game, whatever. They're just great at that draw of the button. So that's going to help them for sure.
You bring up this LSD a lot. Like, has it mattered in the Olympics ever?
Yeah, it did.
For who?
We don't like to talk about it.
Okay. Next, I only got one team left. I told you I was a homer, but these are the hometown heroes. Team Italia. What can you say about this team? The reigning Olympic gold medalists, undefeated. They were the team that knocked Canada out in the last round robin game in Beijing. Heartbreaker for Canadian fans, especially for John and Rachel. But I couldn't track down very many mixed doubles games that they played, but they win them all. I couldn't even get them on the world rankings. So this is also Langer's long shot. They're not even ranked. What a Cinderella story. Let's sell it up like a Cinderella story. But basically, hometown heroes. I think Amos is carrying the flag in opening ceremony. So that could be a detriment. That's going to be the news story for every flag bearer. Is it a curse? Is it X? Is it Y? But just taking it all in, being a home games, it's a lot. And I think Stefania is the best pure shot maker of any of the women in the mixed doubles. I think she's top 3 or 5 shot makers in the world on the women's side. And sometimes her strategy on the ladies' side is, lets her down a little bit. And Amos kind of takes charge in that with a little bit more experience on Team Tornaz. And they just win all the games they play. So that's the hometown heroes.
She can hit the button. She can throw it hard as any woman in the field. She has tremendous sweeping,
Oh, true. I can't believe I didn't mention that.
Unbelievable sweeping. So I would agree with that. And they're going to have all the pressure being in Italy, the hometown team, all the fans, everything that goes along with being the hometown team. But
could be the momentum of it all.
Yeah, I think it's going to be to their advantage. So it's going to be interesting again how they start and how they deal with the pressure. But if they find themselves playing well and getting into the playoffs, they're tough to beat.
Okay, I'm just loosening up because we're getting down to it here. This is Langer's lock. Because I don't pick everything. I just pick one.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to pick one men's and one ladies player because they play together.
Okay.
So I do have to pick a winner. I am a homer. I've said that. I've got my Canada jersey on. I've shown that. I want to pick Canada to win it all. And as I'm sitting here, I'm doubting myself. I'm almost thinking I want to pick Sweden, but I didn't even pick them to make the playoffs. I'm sticking with my notes here. I'm sticking hometown. I'm going the Italians to defend, and that's crazy to think, but I mean, that's where I'm going. Stefania's too good. Amos is too complete of a player. They just seem to work so well together. And if they, like you said, if they can get that hometown crowd behind them, if they get off to a good start, it's going to be a rowdy. All the Olympic crowds are rowdy. This one's going to be super rowdy because Italian fans soccer's their sport. They don't cheer quietly. So if they can get on that roll, that's who I got. Lock it in, I think. Maybe. Lock it in. Jen?
Well, I don't do Langer's luck, so
no,
I don't have to be pot committed there.
You can tell me I'm nuts. That's fair.
Oh, I don't think that's nuts.
Unranked. Completely not even on the world rankings, and I've picked them to win. This is a Cinderella story.
It is. They just have to get off to a good start. Amos is very competitive, feisty, fiery.
Oh, yeah.
And, their last Olympics was kind of a Cinderella fairy tale kind of way it happened.
Well, under the radar.
So you want to make sure that this happens as well this time. Get off to that great start, and it's going to be fun to watch.
We'll see if there were bubble players only. That was a weird Olympics.
That was a weird Olympics, but that was so much fun.
I liked it.
Yeah. We are in some amazing curling action. We're going to have some great curling, super talented players at this mixed doubles event in Italy. I can't wait to call the games for CBC and see how all of the playoffs go and see how close we were and see who gets to live out the ultimate Olympic dream of becoming an Olympic gold medalist. I just love the Olympics.
But you're not going to tell us who. I love the Olympics.
It's like a fairy tale. You just feel like you're walking on air the moment you arrive, and I just can't wait to watch all of these athletes living a dream every single day.
Yeah, no, me too. I mean, I'll be in Milan. I won't be close enough to go to the curling, but I really do think this might be not just the toughest mixed doubles field ever, but maybe the most level curling field ever assembled in terms of, I really think 8 out of 10 teams could legitimately win the gold medal, and you wouldn't be crazy for saying it. So that's also a caveat if I'm wrong, but we are wrapping up here. But before we do, we're going to dive into Rockstar Rapid Fire, right? The rapid fire questions.
Yeah.
So, Jen, first question is for you because it's too hard for me. What makes a great mixed doubles team? So basically just describe me.
Oh, you have to be married.
Oh, for sure. That helps a lot.
Actually, I think that's more of a challenge. I think
You have to be married and you can't be able to afford to get a divorce.
Yeah. I think that the real strength of a mixed doubles team is you need to have that forefoot, that button in your back pocket. That first shot, actually the first 2 shots are so important. So that's one by each player. So both players need to have that button. It's without a question. You need to be able to draw the button. You need to have great sweeping, and you also need to be able to think fast. It's a very quick game.
Fast.
You need to be able to think fast and not take a lot of time to be very deliberate. If you could do all of those things and you can communicate well as a team, you can have a great mixed doubles team.
Yeah, we often said, when our front end plays well, which is us, but we're also the back end. When our front end plays well, if you make those first 2 and get the angles right, you don't often give up big ends. If you miss if you miss both of your first 2, just ask them if they want 3 and see if you can start the next end, maybe even 4.
It's hard.
It's tough. It's a great game, but
do you think, this was the other question, the 2 of you think that you could have won a medal in this field?
Just give me a chip in a chair. No. We wouldn't. We've always said we wouldn't keep playing if we didn't think we could win, and that's how we felt. I mean, we'd be up against it in this field like anybody is, but our best today, I mean, yeah, I think that we could probably I know we could still compete, and I would like to think we could challenge for a medal. It might not happen, but good news is I just get to watch. So, but yeah, we wouldn't have played in the trials if we didn't think we could win the trials, and if we thought we could win the trials, you got to beat one of the best teams or a couple of the best teams in the world. The Lots, and you got Brent and Jocelyn, and then Rachel and Brendan, and there's tons of great teams. So we wouldn't have gone. We don't like wasting time because we don't have, it's limited. So yes, that's the quick answer to, I think we still got it. Not as good as I once was, but every once in a while
now, so maybe
I'm as good as I ever was, and I'm talking about my hair. So that's a wrap, folks. Follow along on socials. As we said, send us your podcast topics and Rockstar rapid fire questions to @Laing99 on X. It's BLAING 99 on X, and @JJonesCurl on Instagram, and tell everyone you know how great we are, right? We're pretty great, but only if you actually believe it. We're also open to podcast topic suggestions. Fire away. We just want to give the people what they want, folks.
Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. Keep rocking the chaos, chasing adventures, loving the ride, and never stop dreaming. We'll see you next time on Rockstars.